Hello and welcome to Rabbittholes, a show with 6 questions, 2 nerds, 1 word, and countless stories. This episode's word is rice. Seems boring until we'll tell you that rice can literally slow down time. In this episode, we chase 6 questions and discover how an everyday food ended up messing with our clocks. So stay curious and watch till the end. The first episode where we have a special guest joining us all the way from a different time zone. So,
Across the planet.
yes. So, Anwar, why don't you introduce yourself to the viewers a bit?
Sure. I mean, Anurag and Devin, you guys don't need any introduction to me, but so I'm Anwar. I've known Anurag since what, junior KG now. We essentially came up through the quizzing phase together when we were in school and college. First quiz being under the other host over here, Devin, which kind of ignited our love for trivia and quizzing. And recently, I don't know, I found myself some I got back into some trivia, and so Anurag has made a grave mistake and invited me back on the pod.
You're down the rabbit holes again.
Exactly.
So also like one
Fun.
thing I'd like to add, like for the viewers, these two were an amazing, fantastic team in school quizzes, and they used to win a lot. And more importantly, you cannot be like binary in the quizzing sense, in the sense like at a point you're a quizzer or you're not. I'm sure Anway already reads up amazing stuff. He has good hold on pop culture, sports, has interesting things to say about food. I'm sure quizzing is just a way of life for all of us. It's not an on and off thing. So I'm sure his curiosity radar is always on.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's funny how Devin was giving Gyan at us back in the day on the stage, and now he's here doing the same thing.
Some things don't change.
Things don't change, but I'm glad that's the case. Yeah, let's come back to the topic at hand. So rice. Yeah, something interesting from my side is because it was like a very food related topic, and it was like I love food, so I challenged myself not to make any questions on food with rice as the word. So that's something to look forward to. But yes, without further ado, let's start with the first question of the day from the host of the day. So Anwar, why don't you go ahead with your first question for us?
Sure. Let me.
Before we begin, it's time to rise and shine. Take it away.
I regret coming here already. Just saying. Anyway, let me share the window. Okay, yeah. So I did not put any challenge like Anurag with not including food related questions. So I think I have lots of food related questions. But
Let's go.
this is a bit topical with, put the cover slide image on it with Zoran Mandani eating with his hands and the whole racism thing that happened because of that. And I guess in relation to that, that's question number 1 for rice. So these are 3 separate things. The first one, as you can see, is the longest, easiest to grab things from a rotating surface. They're original. The second one is flat, short, made of metal, and they're flattened, which makes them a little tricky to use. And the third one is the smallest. They're a little lighter and used to pick up smaller things. What are these 3 things? You can connect them, but I also would prefer the 3 separate things. That's why I have the 3 separate colors on them.
Okay, nice.
I got no clue.
Yeah, same here.
Okay,
I'm going down the lines of. I think we can discuss
sure.
before we write down our first answer. I think I'm going
Okay.
down the lines of utensils.
Okay.
Devin.
What do you see at the end of that rabbit hole?
Smallest, lighter, and
Oh.
used.
I think I have a guess. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. But I just have one word. Is that okay?
I mean, I will give it to you, but if you can give me the 3 blanks, that would be like, grand slam.
Nice.
So I'll wait before giving any hints.
Right.
Hmm.
Yeah. I don't think I know the 3 ones, but I think I can give you one word at least.
Okay, I think I know. I think I get where you're going. We'll wait for Devin though.
Okay. I have a word. I don't know. I may be too close or like way far off.
Okay.
Okay. Should we
I
reveal
have
the
written down
first?
my word.
Sure.
Should we reveal the first answer
Reveal,
in 3,
and then I'll give you
3, 2,
hints
1?
if needed.
Okay. 3, 2, 1. My answer is, if you can see, chopsticks.
Okay, Devin.
Oh, nice. Okay. Mine is Like
Spatula. Okay.
Spatula.
So Anurag gets half the points. If he can
Right.
name 3 dashes, these are chopsticks. But if he can name the 3
Well done.
dashes,
Nice.
it's a full grand slam. So I will say, think of the obvious answers.
So tight.
Think of as stereotypical.
Yeah.
Nice, but very, very amazingly framed question.
Nicely
Thank
ordered
you, thank you,
question,
thank you.
and good crack, Anurag. Like
Yeah. Good stuff.
when I saw it,
Yeah.
It is chopsticks.
Oh,
And I'll tell you the rabbit hole that sparked this one. It's a
Hmm.
pretty cute personal story.
So basically, these 3 are the names of different chopsticks from different countries or something like that, right?
I'll give it to you. These are different nationalities and their chopsticks.
yes,
Okay.
Yeah.
Well done.
So the first one is Chinese, the second one
okay.
is Korean, and the third one is Japanese.
Japanese, right?
Yes.
The
that's
Japanese
the-
one gave it to me.
Right. So yeah, the rabbit hole that sparked this is just, well, the first one was obviously Zoran Mandani and eating with hands and different ways to eat rice, and the other one being chopsticks. And my lovely partner being Chinese, on one of our first dates, I think when we had rice, I did the mistake of sticking my chopsticks in the rice.
Oh,
And so that is like that's not done. I think it signifies death. And as time went on, I learned that there are different kinds of chopsticks, and that's led to the framing
interesting.
of this question. Personally, I think the Korean ones are the hardest to eat. I don't like using those. But yes, hold on. Let me move the slide over there, and so
Wow.
you can see the picture
Nice.
of them. Yep.
Very
Good
cool.
crack,
Such
Anurag.
a
Good stuff.
beautiful start. Yeah.
Thank you,
Good.
thank you.
Very,
Good
very,
story
very cool.
overall.
A follow-up question from my end is, do you know why sticking your chopsticks signifies death in their culture?
So I'll get back to you after the pod with a confirmation, but I think I remember that it looks like incense sticks stuck in rice.
Yeah.
I think that's the
Yeah,
reasoning
that's what
behind
I've
it.
heard as
Yeah.
well. But
Yeah.
better to hear it from the source.
Yeah. I mean, it's funny how death and things cut their way into food, right? Like we don't send back empty containers because of that.
Right.
Correct.
We don't
Exactly.
put just rice in a dish because of that.
Yeah,
So
and even here in South India, especially in the Tulu Brahmin community, rice is typically eaten as a death meal. Specifically, this version of rice called ganji, which
interesting.
is like a very, very easily made soup kind of a consistency of rice. It's like brown or a white rice given a very liquidy consistency. And no, it's just very easy to make, and a lot of people come in, but you're also grieving. So that's the reasoning behind it. Like you need the most easiest dish to make.
Right.
That's how it's
Yeah.
connected. So yeah, wonderful question,
Thank
Anwar.
you,
In fact,
thank you.
one more trivia around meals during morning is, so again, I learned it from my partner's side. In the Kannadiga culture, at least, they have this sweet called sukrundi or sukrunde, which is like a coconut jaggery sweet kind of thing, which is, by the way, it tastes amazing. It's like one of my favorite sweets, but it is only made during the death anniversaries and morning.
Oh.
So yeah, I mean, there is definitely some connection between food items that
Yeah,
can be made and morning period.
awesome.
But lovely start. Wow.
Like I mentioned before, this time I kind of challenged myself to not make a lot of questions or any questions for that matter on food because I love it and I have so much to discuss. But I wanted to challenge myself. So, in that vein, the first question that I want to ask both of you is this. So, the image that you see here on the left is this screenshot that I pulled straight up from the Apple website. Okay, so this is there in the FAQ section or in the customer care section of the Apple phones. So it basically reads that if you see a liquid detection alert on your iPhone or in your XYZ phones, you do this. The interesting thing is on this article itself, there is a section called "Here are a few things not to do." So the first is don't dry your phone using an external heat source, don't insert a foreign object, and the last one is a very interesting one is don't put your iPhone dash. Doing so could allow dash to damage your iPhone. So the straightforward simple question is what is the dash? What is so interesting that Apple had to include it in their FAQs section officially?
Okay.
That's fine. I mean, this is an interesting one.
Yeah. Like crazy how you reached here. Like, wow.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's more that there is an obvious answer, but is that the right answer?
Mind games.
I'll hold judgment until we're ready.
Right. Whenever you guys want to take a
Yeah,
guess.
I know you want to take a shot. I don't have
Sure.
any concrete guess.
So
Yeah.
this is like, don't put your phone in uncooked white rice, which is a thing that everybody does because it allegedly sucks the moisture out of things. And I assume that the rice goes into the charging port and causes damage. These are my two guesses for the two dashes. Am I
Okay.
anywhere close?
Okay. I'll ask Devin also first
Sure.
before you were.
I mean, on similar lines, I was gonna say, don't put your iPhone in rice water. I mean,
Rice.
something like that. Yeah. I just thought people
Okay.
do that.
Oh, you've seen people do that.
I assume people.
Oh, you assume. Okay. 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 So I'll give it to you because you guys are almost there, and like always, is supposed to be like the first easy question.
Okay.
So the answer is not
Okay.
cooked
Oh man,
rice, but put your phone straight up in a bag of rice.
Okay.
I avoided
Yeah.
that for certain reasons, but yeah.
You know what's funny, by the way? Sorry, I know this is your
No
rabbit
problem.
hole, but
No problem.
I was looking into like non-food uses of rice, and Google's the AI thing that it sums up the garbage that it spits out. The first thing it said was it's used to dry your phones.
Yeah, yeah. So that's
Yeah.
the route I went down into
Yeah.
because I, as a person, have had my lot of electronics get wet.
Oh no.
So that's where this funda or like the rabbit hole actually comes from. But this is so like a commonplace knowledge that even my mom comes out and says, "Ki, hey, put it in the rice," or like something of that sort. But the interesting thing is that this particular thing did not really come into picture until the first iPhone was released. So what happened in back in 2000, what, 5, 6, where iPhone was released, a guy from Mac Rumors actually dropped his new phone in a puddle of water. And then I started a thread as to how to dry it. And ultimately, he reached a conclusion saying that, hey, a bag of rice did the trick. And that is how this whole internet phenomenon of putting your electronics in rice came into being. And not just, it doesn't just stop there, but like people use a whole vat of rice containers to dry their camera equipments in the tropical regions. Like if people are going to photograph in the rainforest areas or in South Africas and stuff like that, they put their camera equipment in a whole container of rice. And scientifically, it is proven that this does not work because there's a lot of better desiccants. So this
Right.
particular quality of rice that absorbs moisture is called a desiccant quality. But we have better desiccants out there like silica gels, and that's what the small pouches that you get in your bags are. So yeah, people keep using such things, and it goes from there.
Very cool. Wow.
But actually, I have another rabbit hole that I went into after reading this because I felt this was a little basic and everyone would know this. On a whole another tangent from this particular thing. This is a sort of like a myth of like using rice in a daily use and stuff like that, right? So on Wikipedia, if you go and check this particular section, you see a list titled a list of misconceptions about technology. That's a whole huge ass list about like 500 links included in that list. One interesting link that I want to share with you guys is, do you remember that interesting story where it is said that NASA spent some $300 billion to develop a writing pen for space while Russians
Yeah.
did it with a
Yeah.
pencil?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Turns out it's not true. The space pen actually exists. It's by a company called Fisher Pens or something. Let me just pull that out. It's called the Zero Gravity Pen by Fisher Space Pen Company. It was made independently by these guys, by Erwin Rath, Paul C. Fisher, and he spent his own $300 billion to develop this pen. And after the fact, once this was done, NASA purchased these pens at $6 a piece, some 300 pens they purchased, so undercutting him by a massive margin. And after that, even the Russians approached this guy and purchased the pen. The entire myth of NASA spent so much and all that Three Idiots scene coming
Yeah.
up and everything, kind of based on a lie. Like a lot of
Yeah.
Chinese whispers have happened in this particular scene. Yeah,
Wow.
that was my 2 cents.
Well, nice
Oh.
segue from rice to like space
Space.
pencils. Yeah. Very cool. Cool. Okay. I'll share my screen and my first
Yes.
question. In fact, I've taken it one step further, I have no questions on food
Whoa.
and nothing related to food or rice. So
Or
here's
a rice. That's
yeah,
the word of the day, right?
it is connected to rice, but not that's
Nice.
very, very, very extrapolated deep cuts here. Okay. So here's my first question on rice. This person on the right is Thomas D. Rice, also known as the father of American minstrelsy. So, simple question: what is minstrelsy? I couldn't find a better image of him on the web, so I had to take some stock images. Yeah, this is him, known for creating a lot of characters and all. But first question is, before we dive into those rabbit holes, is what is minstrelsy or American minstrelsy? So whenever you guys are ready, you can shout.
Guess. It's a bit of a stretch, though.
Yeah, I have two guesses.
Are they also stretches?
Yeah, big stretches.
Okay. I know.
But okay, you
Yeah,
can
I
take
know.
a shot
I
first.
know. There's not a lot you can work out from the question, but I want you. If you don't know about this, I want you to uncover that. So hence, I'm not given a lot
Okay.
of hints on the question.
All right.
Anu, you want to take a shot?
Anurag, do you? Sure, I will. So my line of thinking is of minstrelsy, minstrels being musicians. So was he the one who started the Broadway theater tradition? Since the
You're on the right track.
let Anurag let
I will just say you're on the right track because this
Right.
is definitely connected to theater and
Okay.
performing
Okay.
arts of sorts, but
Okay.
not the Broadway. So Anurag, you want to build up
Okay.
on that?
Okay. So my first guess was on the lines of minstrel and them being musicians, so similar lines. My another stupid guess was, did he start American comics? Because he's like the photo you have included is in like a comic shape and stuff. So
Good guess. No, not
that was stupid.
nothing related to comics. Maybe a couple of more guesses before I can repeat. But you're on the right track
Sure.
with
Yeah,
theater and
music, right?
music, performing arts. But the timeline, let's say, would be 19th century. Like
Okay.
1850s or that timeline. So think about what was the situation or condition in America that time. How can how would performing art or
Right.
theater be?
I have
Yeah.
a guess.
So
Go
go
for
ahead.
it.
Yeah.
I mean, so is he like famous for portraying men and women on the stage? And like he's the first ever actors, sort of a thing.
That's a brilliant guess. You're not correct, but he or his ilk are famous for portraying not women, but some other folks.
Interesting. Is this where drag shows started?
I am unaware of that. What is that?
I think it's similar to what Anurag said, where drag shows
Fancy
is
dress
yeah,
competitions.
men dressing up as women and
Okay.
performing.
So no,
Yeah, yeah.
not men
Okay.
dressing up as
Also
women.
no.
So should I reveal or do you want to?
No, give us a hint. No.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
give us a
hint
hint if you
is
could.
again of course during that time this was also not considered very acceptable to the society. There were people who were condemning this as well, especially in the later half of 19 or early part of 20th century. And, there were stereotypes being used, vernacular speeches being used. They were trying to do mannerisms of sorts. So, the whole that leg
Hmm.
of American theater was kind of built on this, on this.
Right, I have a dumb guess.
Please go ahead.
Yeah,
It's
go ahead.
along similar lines. Is this like were they the first ones to do like blackface and perform?
Absolutely spot on, Anway. Well done.
Okay. Okay.
Whoa.
Okay. Okay.
That is what minstrelsy, American minstrelsy means. So
Oh.
these were called minstrel shows back then in the 1850s. So if you see all these shows and all these plays were performed by white people with a black face on. So he was the first one or one of
Wow.
the few propagators of this kind of theater. So
Crazy.
white guys are doing blackface and doing mannerisms of sorts. Again, a lot of racial profiling, a lot of stereotypical jokes and mannerisms and vernacular speeches, of African American concepts being, portrayed on the stage by white people. So this is what minstrelsy basically meant. So all these guys, if you see
That's fascinating.
on the screen are white
Nice.
people playing with a black face on. So obviously the rabbit hole I went into, and of course the southern states were doing it more than other states. So there was racial segregation there, and the popularity kind of soared more in the southern states. And this is just at the advent of civil war. Of course, post civil war, there was a lot of restriction on this. So now my rabbit hole that I'm going to go into is this. So this song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is just play it first.
America.
America. Right. So amazing song by Donald Glover or Childish Gambino. This is America.
Mhm.
At this point where he's shooting this person with a mask on, you can see this pose, right, where he's shooting the guy in the head.
Right.
Do you know what this pose is a reference to?
Deep cut,
Very deep.
Devin.
Damn,
Really.
yeah. I was gonna say. Well, so one would assume that this pose is one of those gestures that the minstrels did in the blackface shows.
Yes.
Was it also with a gun?
No, it wasn't with a gun. But you're right. I mean, unless you can give me the exact character name, you're absolutely right. What you described is exactly what it is. So the character name, okay, I'll give it to you. The character name is called Jim Crow. So if you see here, this is Thomas D. Rice that we talked about earlier, doing his minstrel shows with the blackface on. He developed this character called Jim Crow and had his famous song called Jump Jim Crow, which became famous across all the performances and all the minstrel shows. Donald Glover or Childish Gambino in his song "This Is America" also kind of references this, and basically Jim Crow became such a cult character, famous and famous, that in the southern states, especially, the segregation laws were also known as Jim Crow laws. So any kind of racial segregation, racial profiling was tagged as Jim Crow laws in the United States back then. And some other things about this song, especially, is there are a lot of other references that Childish Gambino makes in this song. So one is the pants that you see he's wearing, right? These pants are also, a lot of people on the internet say, are also a reference to the Confederate uniform that was there back then in the southern states. That is one, and also the dance that he did with those, very crazy expression and all that. That's called the Guara Guara dance, which is actually a South African dance, and that was a reference to the apartheid age or apartheid era of South Africa. So yeah, I mean, basically the connect is Rice. Rice created this character called Jim Crow, and it became such a huge thing in the US where the Jim Crow laws came in, and yeah, that was a reference in This Is America.
Damn.
So that's my spectrum of.
So it's funny, Devin, because as you were saying the timeline, right, and as you were saying like, oh, after the Civil War, and my head, I was like, oh yeah, that's during the Jim Crow era. So I know what Jim Crow is. I know what Jim Crow entails. I had no idea that's how those two things connected.
Yeah, so that's our guy Thomas Rice making
That's
that character.
fascinating.
Insane. That was too good.
I mean, that's the best thing about this format is I had no clue about this before I read up for this question. I just know that there was a reference in in Childish Gambino's song. That's it. That's all I knew. Then it connected all back to Rice is the guy who created this character, and that's why it's called Jim Crow laws. Yeah, it's fascinating how we get a license to freely read up on interesting stuff.
Yeah.
So there is an end goal that we have
Like-
a pod. Otherwise, people will call us lunatic.
I just assumed it was some politician who designed the amendment or whatever it is to the Constitution and being like that was Jim Crow. And no,
Yeah, it's
the reality is much stranger than fiction.
true. So cool, but good
Good, too good, too
thinking.
good.
I think across the three questions we've covered some fascinating topics, and let's go to section 2.
Yeah. I am more than happy to tell you guys what these three things are as hints, but if you can get it without the hints, that's even better. So how do there's something that these three things cause and or are causing. What is that one thing?
And it's connected to the theme that is rice.
Yes.
Oh.
Well, okay, so the image on the top right is connected to rice, which is the rabbit hole, but I'll go into that later on. But the other two at the bottom also do the same thing as this. So if you need something to go on, if you want the names, I'm
Is
happy
it a
to
one
share.
word connect or is it like a descriptive?
It's a concept, not really a concept, but yeah, it's it's like a description, I guess. It's something that's happening because of these three things, or happened because of these three things. And this is a non-exhaustive list, by the way.
I have a conceptual guess.
Sure.
Should I
Devin, if you
take
would
ahead?
rather have me name these three things for you to take a guess, if you want.
I think we can do it.
It doesn't really give you the answer.
Maybe we can take
Yeah.
a shot, and then if it's incorrect, you
Sure.
can. Okay. Go on, Anurag, because I have a very generic guess.
Okay. Yeah, it's mine. Mine is generic as well. So I am going off the bottom right image that it's like a tectonic plate, earthquake sort of a situation where it's shifting the landmass so that there is no lakes anymore. So de-lakeification or something. And
Okay.
I'm guessing the top one is like you're building a dam to create sources of water for rice fields, and that is drying up your lakes in some other part. So that is my theoretical guess that I'm going down.
Devin,
My guess
going
was
to you.
similar. Like, I mean, again, I'm just voicing out my thoughts here.
Sure.
The top right one is a dam, which is probably helping conserve water for the rice fields or rice agriculture. The bottom left one looks like a lake that's dried up. Yeah, and maybe the bed of it, I don't know, it's used for rice production. The bottom
Okay.
right, however, I think it's like some kind of epicenter is there. So, like Anurag said, it's causing a tectonic shift. So maybe causing a tsunami or something, because it's also what is frequent in Southeast Asia. So, but I don't know how it connects to one world.
Okay. Okay. So I'm going to give out what these are. Okay. Because you're thinking along like the scale at which you're thinking is correct, but you're going in in a slightly wrong direction. So the bottom left is the drainage of the Aral Sea, which is located, I think, in Uzbekistan. So at the 1980s is the picture on the left, and the one on the right is now. Like the water is gone. The fourth largest inland lake on the planet is gone.
Oh.
The bottom right is the 2004 Indian Ocean earthquake, which caused the giant tsunami that we know. And the top right is the Three Gorges Dam on the Yangtze River. That's a specific dam. So these three things caused something when they happened. I mean, the drainage of the Aral Sea happened through time, but the earthquake and the dam, when they happened, they created something that could be measured anywhere on the planet. What is that
Oh,
one thing?
measured.
Technically, it can be measured.
Okay.
Yeah. Anurag was thinking right on the scale of the planet.
Did it? Okay, my guess is, did it cause a volcanic eruption?
No. Nothing so destructive, nothing so dramatic.
Okay.
It's barely measurable, but it's significant.
My guess is, did it cause the extinction of a certain strain of rice?
No. Good guess, but no.
Did it lead to the largest rice field that is now?
Okay, so the answer isn't connected to rice. Okay.
Okay.
Fair warning.
Okay.
Keep thinking on like the planetary scale, like the scale of a planet. What could these three things cause?
They caused separation of two land masses, like something on those.
Oh, that's a good guess. No.
Do you guys want me to give out the answer, or do you want more hints?
If there is a hint, you can go ahead.
As I said, it can be measured. It's a measurable quantity that these things changed.
Oh, I have a guess.
Shoot.
Did it cause the slowing down of Earth's rotation?
Wow!
And you have it.
Woo!
Yes.
What a
Great answer, Anurag. Yes. So these three things caused a measurable impact, especially the Three Gorges Dam. It caused like a 0.006 microsecond, like it slowed down or sped up. I'm not sure on the specifics, but it changed how long the day is.
Wow.
That's
Yeah. So it slowed.
insane.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah. So the reason being, like, such a giant mass of water changes the way the weight is distributed on the planet. Same thing with the Aral Sea. The way water changes the weight of the planet means it slows down. It's basic moment, like it's basic physics, right? Like if you change the place where weight is put, the spinning of an object will change. That's what's happening.
Lovely fun.
So
Whoa.
now the rabbit
Wonderful.
hole is a bit weird. So I went down two separate rabbit holes that led me down to the Yangtze River. The first one being Chinese history, and because the game I play, Age of Empires, had a Chinese DLC recently where they were talking about a battle called the Battle of Red Cliffs. Interesting stuff if you want to read it on your own. It's very dramatic, very Game of Thronesy, and it was a massive battle that changed the way Chinese history went on, and that happened on the Yangtze River. And the Yangtze River and its connection to rice it's supposed to be one of the very first places where rice was domesticated into what we see today. So that's like the source of our quiz today, technically. So I wanted to go down there,
Awesome.
and that led me to the Three Gorges Dam and all of this stuff. So
Lovely, lovely.
Too good.
great crack on.
Wonderful crack.
Good stuff.
Amazing. Like the question was framed in such a interesting way as well. Like too good. Too good. Too good. So next question is, I'm talking about a particular nickname here. In the 1960s and 70s, there was this term called rice burner, which was used by UK, like the people of UK, and a group of people known as the Detroit Loyalists, as a way to disparage certain products from a particular country. The root of this slang actually traces back to the Korean War military terminology. So I want you to name which country I'm talking about and what products I'm talking about. Quite straightforward.
Okay.
So I think I know this. So I'm gonna I think Devin should go first.
Okay. I don't know this, but like lovely
I
framing,
think.
Panda. Okay. My line of thought is basically Detroit being the automobile capital, I guess, of US. These might be Chinese cars.
Okay, Anwar, you want to take a shot?
Okay, so I think I'm aligned with Devin on the first part. I
Mhm.
think Detroit Loyalists being Ford, GM, and Chevy. And the rice, I thought they were called rice rockets, but that might be the Korean War terminology. So these are Japanese cars from companies like Honda and Toyota and Nissan.
Yep. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That is like you guys were on the right track. This
Yeah.
is what it is. Yeah. So it is because the Japanese cars were undercutting the US and the UK
Right.
markets by quite a lot. How do you sell the products, American products, then if the Japanese cars are so reliable and so cheap? So that's where they came up with this terminology that they literally came out and said it out loud that they are cheap because they run on rice, and that's where the term rice burner comes from. This is not the first instance of the word rice burner or like Anwar said, rice rocket
Right.
was invented. There is a whole sort of rice related derogatory terms used for automobiles back in the day. Rice burner was one of the first ones, and that came from this Korean War terminology when Korean soldiers went to Canada to help them, and the Canadians used to refer to them as rice burners or rice eaters because they ate so much rice and they could like work for longer than the Canadians and stuff like that. So that was like a derogatory term later, but they thought they were just referring to them for their superpowers, honestly, which again leads back like before all of this started. The term rice burner typically used to refer to anyone from Southeast Asia because the Westerners thought that we burn our rice fields, which sometimes we do because we want to like, replenish the soil and its nutrients. But that's where the term rice burner actually comes from.
Interesting. I didn't know
And
that one.
that's how, yeah, that slang history of racism then went into military terminology, and then it came into automobiles in this automobile magazines to refer to all these Asian cars that were coming out, Honda, Nissan, Toyota, and all that stuff. So yeah, amazing, great crack there. That was the entire rabbit hole that I wanted to take you guys on.
Very, very nice. Very interesting.
Great question.
Again, as I said, not at all related to the rice food item, but something else that connects to rice.
Yes.
Okay, here's question number 2. Okay, simple. On the right is the poster of this movie called Mr. Rice's Secret. So, who plays the titular character in the 2000 movie, Mr. Rice's Secret? And that's the basic, the guy is him in question. So, the plot of the movie is that one young kid is terminally ill, and his neighbor is this person, Mr. Rice, who also was terminally ill, but then uh somehow he finds like the portion of life and kind of is able to live more, I think some 400 years or something, and but then he chooses not to, and he kind of leaves clues and something like a treasure hunt, a trail for this young kid, so that he finds out the real meaning of life, and then he also gets a portion of life and blah blah. So that was his secret, and how he put clues for this young kid. So, which famous person plays Mr. Rice's Secret? we may or may not know him for his movie characters, but we also know him from some other field. So do you want to take a shot at this? Who this guy looks like?
I have a very, very stupid guess, but yeah.
Anurag can go for it because I have a just a random actor guess. So Anurag, go for it.
Yeah, based on the description that you gave, it reminded me of the book Alchemist.
Hmm?
So, is it Paulo Coelho by any chance?
No, not
Wow.
Paulo Coelho. But yeah, it fits the Alchemist or Om Shanti Om narrative.
My guess was just going to be off of the face, which kind of looks like Kevin Costner. That's
Nice.
my guess,
Not
Kevin Costner.
very, very good
It's
guess.
not very imaginative.
Not Kevin Costner. But okay, I'll give you the field.
Okay.
So we may know him more
Sure.
from his music. So he's a famous, legendary singer, songwriter, performer, rock star.
You have, because I have one. I'm just going to shoot one.
Shoot.
Yeah, shoot off, shoot off.
Is it Bono?
Good guess. Not Bono,
Oof.
Okay.
but I would say timeline wise, a decade or so before Bono, or maybe a couple of decades before Bono. I would-
Now, as much as I'm loath to
Okay.
start listing off famous musicians, I will do it.
give you a lateral hint. This guy also played this guy also played Nikola Tesla in Christopher Nolan's Prestige.
What?
Yes. If you see the Prestige, which I'm sure you guys have.
I have seen the
Yes.
Prestige.
So the guy who plays Nikola Tesla is this person.
Dang.
The
Yeah.
hell?
Yeah,
Okay.
that was my reaction to it. Like, what? I have seen the movie. It's just been a while.
Okay, it's
It's not one of the Beatles, is it?
not one of the Beatles, but I guess a contemporary. I mean, I'm sure he would have met at least few of the Beatles. So,
Okay.
but the country of origin is same, and he also has different stage personas by which we know his characters and his albums by. So that can lead you to some guesses. One of them is
Is it?
no. Take a guess.
Sorry, go ahead.
Take a guess. I want to listen to what you want to say. And
Axel Rose?
not Axl Rose. Not Axl Rose.
Okay.
Okay, go.
So the guess is
Take a hint.
the hit
Yeah.
is his one of his stage persona is called. This might make it too easy, but it's called Ziggy Stardust.
Wait, is this?
I've heard that.
Wait, no, shoot. God. Oh, man. Is this Elton John? No,
Not Elton John.
that doesn't make sense.
Good guess, but not.
Does
He also-
Ziggy Stardust kind of make me think?
Wait.
I feel like the comments are going to destroy us.
Yeah. Dude, that has been the trend, okay? Like Devin comes up with music questions and I suck at music questions. And he never asks Bollywood questions. Okay. So it's always like this. And I take the randomest guesses. And he has to give out the answer every
But
time.
it's always when you're put on a spot, right? You'll just blank out sometimes. I mean, that has happened to me so many times that
Yeah.
I know the fun now. I know what Anurag is talking about, and I just can't name it.
I can see the performer's outfit
Yeah. So okay, I'll give it to you.
because
Okay, okay. One last, like so that you
sure.
can do the spaghetti at the wall thing. His face in some of his characters has like a flash symbol on his.
yeah, I can see that
Is
in
it?
my mind.
Okay, dumb. Is it David Bowie?
Not dumb at all. Well done. It is.
Okay.
It's
Okay.
David
The
Bowie.
lightning one kind of
Yeah.
sparked them.
Yeah. So
Finally, like we got the answer. I'm happy with that.
so like again, like a
Nice.
man of so many talents, wearer of so many
Yeah.
hats, crazy legendary musician, has some at least I don't know 40 50 odd movies in his filmography. He's a writer, he's a painter, just overall amazing personality. And the rabbit hole I went into then again was just reading on about David Bowie. So on the left you can see this is him as Nikola Tesla, and you can't guess it, right, because of the mustache. You
Yeah.
can't guess that's it. Even I didn't know till a long time that it was him who played Tesla. But what a character he played, like so intense. And then the same person is Ziggy Stardust. So then I read about how he got this name Ziggy. So in Rolling Stone magazine, basically what he says is, I chose this name because it's one of the few names that start with Z, and is also somehow connected to Iggy Pop, the musician Iggy Pop.
Mm.
And Stardust,
Oh.
Stardust basically is his collabs with this legendary Stardust cowboy. That he's also a musician. He just combined the two and put together Ziggy Stardust character. And you should just read about David Bowie, like his antiques and what all he's done. I think a phenomenal character in the world of music and movies. So yeah, that was my rabbit hole.
Easy.
And this was the movie he was in.
I'll go next, so we can end with the guest of the day. My last question. I will share my screen.
Should the name of the episode be You Guessed It? Maybe. Or maybe not.
We'll
Can I
think about
petition
it.
to replace Dave?
I feel like Steve Jobs.
We will we will
Steve Jobs
ask the
left.
comments down below. Okay, all right. Question number 3 from my set is okay. So it's divided into 4 different products: the company, controversy, resolution, and the product. So there are 2 answers to this: X and Y. So it starts off as Rice Tech is actually an American private company that was embroiled in this controversy back in the 90s. So they attempted to patent something. So when they put out this patent, it infuriated the entire South and Southeast Asian community. But the Indian government successfully overturned this patent claim back in 2000, and it has been up in the air ever since. But what Rice Tech did instead is they patented their product as something else, I, which is a portmanteau of X and the American region where it is grown. So I want you to tell me X and Y.
Okay, so this is funny. Anurag, we almost had an overlap. We almost had an
Okay.
overlap. So I know part of it. I know X. I'm pretty sure I know X.
Okay.
But Y I'm going to guess at. So I'll let David
Got
take a
it.
crack at it.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Almost had an overlap is makes me happy because
Yeah.
we didn't
Also,
have an overlap.
love the way you framed this, by the way. The 4
Yeah.
sections.
And the last quarter in the product, like there's so much shouting in your face with such a clever framing. So many hints there, but let me see if I can work this out. It sells Y. It's a clever portmanteau mining X American region words. Okay. What could they patent that would infuriate South and Southeast Asia? Okay, let me think about this a minute. I don't know. I have 2 different lines. One is food items and one is food utensils or food tech. So maybe okay, so let me go with the food tech thing. So they tried to patent the rice cooker, I would say, is X.
Okay. And why?
Now they sell. Oh, but no, it's grow. No, X is grow, so it has to be food item. My bad. So when if it is that, then okay. Ramen. I don't know, but X can't be grow. It has to be a X has to be rice. X has to be rice. I don't know. Is X rice?
I'll let Anwar take the guess.
So I'm fairly certain that X is basmati, and then Y
Wow.
might be Kansmati, because Kansas, where it might be grown.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Anwar got half of it
Oh.
right.
Okay,
X is
okay.
basmati,
Yeah.
but Y isn't kansmati. That's a good try though. But
Wait, let us figure out why. Don't give. I think almost.
Used all 3 of
Yeah.
my brain cells for that one.
but I can give you a hint on why
Okay.
if you guys want.
Sure.
Wait, before let us take a couple of guesses
yeah,
now
yeah.
that
Yes,
now
yes,
that
yes,
we know
yes,
what's the
yes.
format.
Let's take
of
a few
the
cracks at it.
answer. Okay, so
Obviously, because it's puns,
yes.
right? So
yeah,
Devin
I'm
would
interested
want to
in
work
this.
it out.
So basmati, and it can be grown in
I'm just going through the states in my
Yeah.
head. What makes the best combination with bas? Either bas or mati.
or it can be very dumb about it, and like let's say it's California and they can call it Calamity or something like that. I don't know.
Okay, I would rule that out. It's not that.
I
Is
mean,
it a
as vile. Sorry, go ahead.
I'm just saying, is it Anurag, one thing you can say is it a proper pun or is it a makeshift pun, as in force fit?
It's a portmanteau. You can't say it's like a pun. It's like it literally is half word of this and half word of that. So.
He did say it's clever, Devin. So there is that tag. So I'm hoping. I'm just going through the list.
No, but is it rhyming with basmati?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeesh. I can't think of US states anymore.
You have what, 50 options?
Yeah, I mean, most of them, like, you're not matching New Jersey with basmati. I hope.
Taxmati or
Taxmati.
Hey, you got it.
I told you this.
Well, I actually thought this was pretty like this brand of rice is pretty big in the US, so I expected Anvay to get it. But
Do you first hold on? First off,
uh,
what do you think of me that I would be buying this yeehaw ass basmati rice? I go to an Indian store and buy certified basmati, which I found out when I was researching this, by the way, that basmati is a certification
yeah,
that you have to get. Anyway, I'll let Anurag go through his Rabbittholes. I had to defend my
right.
character
So
there.
right. So yeah, it is Texmati because it's grown in the Texas region, which has the closest condition for growing a basmati grain in the US. So that's where the name of this region comes from. Yeah. So this was the entire rabbit hole that I went into. I wanted to do something on the different names of rice. That's when I found out that there is something called as a Texmati, which a lot of Americans eat, and it's a proper branded name. And they actually legit tried to patent basmati straight up. And that's when the Indian government is like, hey, hold on. Like, this is our thing, or like, the entire Southeast Asian region. The funny thing is, Texmati is now patented. Basmati has still not been patented yet.
Wow.
Like, there's no one who owns the name Basmati. It just is that it exists in our region, and it goes from there. So yeah, that was the interesting story behind this particular brand of grain of rice. And the funny thing, the rabbit hole that I went into is the naming of different varieties of rice that are there in the world. So okay, I'll shoot out some varieties. Do you want to guess where it comes from? I'll shoot it out in group. Um, and you just give me like the characteristic or whatever that comes to your mind when you think of it. Okay. So let's say basmati, jasmine rice, and those kind of group. Where does the name of this rice come?
So you need a region or like
No,
alignment.
I need like the etymological root
Okay.
of where the name comes from.
Well, basmati, doesn't it have a very distinct smell, which is
Yeah,
where
which
the
is
bas
the
comes from? And I would assume the same with jasmine.
Correct, correct. So
Yeah,
basmati, mogra,
yeah.
Indravati, jasmine rice, all of these strains of rice get their name from the distinctive smells. So different kind of rice have different smells. Then there is another subsect of naming of rice, which is white, brown, red rice. So based on color. Then there is the Greek varieties, the Middle Eastern variety of rice, which gets its name from the root word of rice, oraiza, if I'm not pronouncing it wrong. Then there is the Spanish and version of the rice. So made for paella and stuff like that. So arborio rice. So arborio is the region in Spain which has first grown this specific variety of rice. So arborio rice comes from that. It's like some sort of similar to champagne kind of thing. Then they have a different variety of rice which I'm forgetting the name of right now, which is like an arborio rice but is not grown in arborio, so it's called something else. I'll put it up on the screen.
Is it a
And
rose? Sorry.
no, I don't
Okay.
remember exactly,
Okay.
but it might be something similar. But yeah, and the last naming of the rice, which I found was very interesting, is forbidden rice. So do you guys know what forbidden rice is?
Weird guess.
Yeah, go for it, go for it.
Sure. Okay. So my line thinks it to like the Forbidden City in China. And was this rice only allowed for the emperor and
Right.
the
Nice.
So you're not
leaders
wrong.
and
It
stuff?
comes from, yeah, it's a very, very good guess. Unfortunately, they didn't think this deeply. It
Yeah.
comes from China, but the reason is that it's a black rice. It has like a purplish liquid that seeps into it while it's growing up. So it gets a very distinctive dark black color, and they use it to pair it with all the squidding dishes and mashed potato dishes to create like a sort of a contrast. And it was grown in very small quantities, so it was meant for the royals back in the day, but now it's like hugely popular. So you get like those delicacies everywhere in the world. But it's called forbidden because of its color, basically. So unfortunately, I didn't find any good etymological roots of any rice. It's just either smell, color, or the region where it's grown. So that's it.
Nice.
Yeah, that
Good
was
rabbit.
my rabbit hole.
Stuff.
Interesting.
So, quick side note, by the way, a very similar situation happened with cognac, I think,
Mm,
where I think it has something called a I think it's called something
GI
called
tag.
GI. Yeah, GI tag. So I think that went to like France, and then people in Bulgaria and stuff got mad because they were selling
Yeah,
counterfeit cognac.
Yeah.
Very
Yeah,
similar
even
situation.
champagne is the same,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Has to come from the Champagne region.
It's just
There's a lot of such
sparkling
stuff.
water.
So it's very interesting because this has happened, especially with companies like Rice Tech, right? It happens a lot in America itself, where they patent a certain type of grain and the farmers have to use it. Otherwise, they get sued. It's a whole
That's crazy.
legal mess. But it's scary that food varieties can be patented, like especially food varieties that have belonged to a region for a long time. Anyway, I don't want to sidetrack this one. So
Cool. Last question of the day.
Yeah.
yes, of course. All right.
Isn't it similar to,
So
I don't know, was it Prada who made the Kolhapuris and sold them for like a huge ass
yes,
amount? And
yes,
there was an uproar
yes,
in
yes,
India.
yes,
Like,
yes,
wow.
yes. I mean, rightfully, don't get to just steal that. Anyway,
Yeah, I think these Americans have this thing ingrained from back in the day that hey, we just did it and now it's ours. Sort of a complex without giving like due credits. I don't want to like blame or anything.
no, you can. They do that. It's valid.
I mean, there have been countless examples that I can name
Yeah,
where they
exactly.
have done that. So
We'd
yeah,
be here for another hour if we keep
Yeah.
listing those out.
America, please stop doing.
Yes, do not,
That's it.
please.
So, I don't know, we don't like face the repercussions. I hope Anway doesn't. He's the closest. He's in the line of fire.
I'm sure the U.S. immigration system is not going to be watching this podcast. If they do, make sure you share.
Like and subscribe.
Yeah, please like, share, subscribe, comment down below, whatever.
Okay, all right. Last question from me, and for this whole thing. So this is I'm going to go extra nerd on this one. So let me.
Nice stuff that we love.
Yeah.
So I'm giving you guys a coding challenge.
Oh, okay.
Oh no.
Engineering days. If you read through it, it's actually a food question. I just framed it like a code.
Nice.
So go through the list. If you
Hmm.
grind roasted fenugreek, urad dal, coriander seeds, or dhane, hing, cumin, and chana dal, what do you get? That's a rice accompaniment.
I have a guess.
Yeah, I also have a guess.
Okay.
Is it
Shoot.
the green chutney that you get with dosas?
No.
Okay. My guess was also
So-
chutney.
No. Well, I wouldn't just like. So I need something. It's a very specific name.
Is it chutney podi?
Chutney puri.
You're getting closer, but not
Not
there
the.
yet.
Okay.
Right. I'll give you guys one more chance, and then I'll give you like a pretty critical hint.
Is it the Mysore masala chutney that they put inside? Red
No.
one.
Gunpowder, right?
No, gunpowder is different.
It's a
The
different
Mysore
sort
masala
of-
chutney is different. Yeah,
So
different
I
region.
have two Kannada experts over here.
Did you hear what Devan said?
No, I did not, thankfully.
He's like, gunpowder is a different plot.
Oh god. Once again, I must show this.
Okay, anyways, Devan, take a guess.
Yes, please.
What will this variable? Rice accompaniment. Okay. 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 Because of the image of the idli, I'm thinking idli accompaniment. Let me think of rice accompaniment.
Good, you
Yeah.
have fallen into my trap. This was intentional.
Then obviously chutney doesn't make sense. So I at least I thought chutney because of the image of the rice.
So I have 3 hints, okay, that I just thought of. I will
Yeah, I'm
give
gonna
them
guess-
in
I'm gonna
order.
guess sambar.
Huh?
Sambar.
Sambar? No. Anurag, do you have one, or do you want me to give one
No,
of the hints?
I get a hint.
So you eat this with ghee. Rice, this
Oh,
plus ghee.
Okay,
plus...
I have a guess.
Yes.
Is it
Okay.
methkut?
Yes, Anurag gets it. Anurag gets it. It's methkut. So the
Right.
big hint I was going to
Nice.
give is that it's a grinding, which is kut in Marathi, and methi, methkut.
Oh, yeah, fenugreek.
That's
Nice.
actually
Very good.
yes, fenugreek. Yeah, that's why
Close
I
to home.
purposefully yeah.
Nice. We are all going abroad somewhere and
Yes.
like
Nice.
That was the third hint. Is like think closer to home.
Is there a name?
nice,
Is there a
nice,
Western
nice, good.
name for methkut? I have not.
What's that?
Is there an English or a Western name for methkut? No, not heard.
No, it's a very Marathi thing. So I was looking into this a little bit more, and this is one of those like hand-me-down recipes, which doesn't really make a lot of noise, isn't as glamorous as vada pav or
Mm.
misal or
Mm.
something like that. But it's something that you eat and you kind of forget. Honestly, I completely forgot about this as I was researching for this quiz. I'm like, wait, metkut. I was researching sadhavar and bhat, and then something just popped up saying metkut. I'm like, wait, I
Yeah,
haven't eaten
yes.
metkut in like half a decade.
Nice.
Nostalgic.
You can go to the answer slide so the viewers
I'm
can
sorry.
also
I'm
see
sorry.
how it is.
Yeah.
No problem.
There you go.
And for the viewers,
Yes,
Yeah.
this is
Nit
not
put right there.
what Marathi Breaking Bad folks make. This is different. This is a rice a cup.
But
Yes,
it might as well be. It's so
Yeah, it
addictive,
can.
it is good.
you know? It's like one of those comfort foods which you like make it in a pinch where you are just tired and it's cold outside and you just it's too good.
I remember this phase in school where I think I had this for like 3 days straight, every night for dinner, just this.
So it actually is very weird because if you go down from the states in India, right? Like you see the accompaniments that come with rice change their form quite drastically. So up north is a lot of it is like gravy and like thick, oily gravy kind of stuff. Then you come down to Maharashtra where it is gravy with now the pudi like this. And down south, there's like then there you start getting curd and all the different kinds of pudis. Like Methkut is one kind of pudi in Maharashtra, at least that I know of, and nothing else. But down south, there's so much. Like we said, powder is there. Then there's a methi version of this. Then there's garlic
But
pudi.
it is.
There's this Mysore
There's
masala
one
pudi.
amazing methi variant that they make. It's called tambari. I think Anurag you might have had. So it is amazing. It's also the main ingredient is meat. So it's a
Nice.
it's a liquid thing. It's a gravy. Fantastic.
Yeah, too good, too good. Nice. Closing it while coming back home.
Yeah.
That was nice.
Yeah, thank you. Now, great crack, Anurag. Like the second I said ghee, Anurag was like, "Yeah, I'm locked
Yeah,
in." Just got instant.
Nice.
nice.
Well done. Good Q&A.
Cool,
Alright.
awesome. What a episode, guys.
Thank you.
This was amazing to like just attempt all the questions and just get to hang out with you guys today.
Yeah, it's been a long time since we've had a quiz session like this online, and yeah, this was great. Thank you very much for having me on.
So of course, our pleasure.
Yes.
What do you have something to say for the viewers? What do you have to say about the format and anything you'd like to see going ahead?
Honestly, I feel like this format on its own is interesting. I learn more about rice and history and just weird random holes, like rabbit holes I went down when I was researching for these things. Like I have like 2 more rejected questions just lying in my notes somewhere. So I honestly just keep the format. I really like this. It's very interesting. It keeps it focused, but it also it's also unfocused at the same time as, you dig into things. So for the viewers, don't let these guys' rabbit holes restrict you. Keep digging through your own, and yeah, stay curious.
Yeah. Very cool. Thanks, Anwar. And yeah, like you said, I think,
Thank you.
it just leads you to so many different things, genres, categories. And, it's just amazing to use a prompt as a hook and then frame a question and then just not restrict yourself to that question or panda, go beyond it and read more about it.
Yes, absolutely. So thank you for being on the show. And a critical thing that you have to do for us today is that select the word for the next episode,
Yes.
what we will be aiming for. So, Deven, do you want to pull up the random generator
Yeah, let
that we
me do
use?
that. Okay, so this is the site we use. It's called Random Word Generator. As the name suggests, it just generates random words, and we've been using this for all our episodes. So thank you, randomwordgenerator.com, for helping us with the prompts. So I'll just put 6 words here, and you can choose one Anvay for our next episode. So 1, 2, 3. These are the words: structure,
Oh
insight,
no.
seed, acid, favor, tendency. I don't know what to do. It's a little weak.
I mean, you brought up Breaking Bad a little bit before, so in that note, I'm gonna say acid. Good luck.
Okay, then.
So
All right. A challenge.
word for the next episode is acid.
All right. Let's do acid next week.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to see
No,
what you guys come up with.
please let's not do acid on live camera. But yeah, that's a very interesting prompt. Like it's gonna be amazing because acid might lead to a lot of things. Nice.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yes. So just to recap
Right.
for viewers and maybe for Anvay as well, the dome, then home, then sound, then it was problem. And today, episode 5, we are at rice.
Right.
And next one's going to be acid.
Nice. Okay, awesome. Thank you, viewers, for tuning in. And this was an amazing session with our first ever guest on the show. Do tune in for all these episodes and stay curious.
Stay curious. Thank you all for watching. Like, share, subscribe, and all that jazz. And thank you, Anvay, for being here and sharing interesting stuff with us. Thank you.